What does a day in the life look like? Well, we get to school. We open the gates at 9:10, and supervision starts on the yard at that time. You're welcome to come at that time. Your kids have a chance to connect with their friends and have a little bit of fun on the yard before we head into classrooms. Teachers come together with their class, and they have a community circle every morning, first thing in the morning. It's an opportunity for the community to grow, for them to really get to know each other, to check in for students who are experiencing various things. What are they excited about? What are they struggling with? How are we going to connect them personally with each other, connect them with their teacher, and connect everyone with their learning? The first learning block in the morning is usually English language arts or math. A lot of our lower grade classrooms, especially kindergarten classes, have a bathroom connected directly to the classroom, and those are any gender bathrooms. We also have a lot of opportunities for kids to go out and play outside. We have wonderful yards all around the school, and it's one of the things I really do like about the site is it's an absolutely enormous site that has lots and lots of room for kids to get out and run around. We have lunch. This year, lunch is provided free of charge for all of our students. We have PE activities. We have 4 days a week of a PE teacher provided by the San Francisco Unified School District. We also have 4 days a week of library. And on the day when we don't have a librarian, teachers often go in and do exchanges with their students so they can have up-to-date reading materials. Among the things that are really special and unique about a Lakeshore education is we have fantastic enrichments. Many of these have been in existence for decades, including the motor program, motor perception, studio art, and science in the garden are all programs that were initially started by Lakeshore parents and continue right till this day. Homework, homework, homework. It's always a question we get. So let me jump into it right from the beginning. It does vary by grade level, but all students should be reading every single day, Saturday and Sunday included. We have a lot of people in classes to support our diverse community. For example, we have a resource. We have 2.5 resource specialists who help students with individual education plans or students who have who are identified with special needs. We also have a full-time speech and language pathologist, a behavior coach. We have multiple parent volunteers, and we have lots of opportunities for people to volunteer. For example, we're the closest school to San Francisco State University, as well as right next door to Lowell High School. And there are lots of opportunities where our communities come together to work. Academically, we do a lot of focus on figuring out what a child needs academically and trying to meet those needs in small groups. A lot of our small group learning really is also helped by the PTA structures. For example, when students go to garden science, half of the class goes to garden science, the other half of the class stays in with a teacher, and it's a fantastic time for teachers to be able to work on things like detailed writing, as well as to really have an opportunity to assess students and see what their academic needs are. And academically, we teach English language arts through Readers and Writers Workshop out of Columbia University in New York City. We also utilize a response to intervention or RTI model, where we look at what are the different things that all students need, what are some certain things that only a few students need, and what are some things that perhaps is a more intense need for only a small number of students, and really look to find out exactly what a child's strengths are, find out what their needs are, and be able to serve them exactly as they are. Test scores. We don't have very recent test scores because of all the things that we've all been through. And you'll find that often a school as diverse as Lakeshore Elementary School doesn't have as high a test scores as perhaps I would like, as perhaps some of you would like, as perhaps some would like, but it really is a school that represents all the diversity of San Francisco, and that's very much reflected in our test scores. We have a number of students at school who have disabilities, and to me, it is a crucial part of growing up to understand the differences that we as humans all experience. Differences in ability, differences in inclination, differences in likes, differences in our families, differences in our upbringing, differences in our culture, differences in our language, differences, where we're able to honestly address them, be who we are, and really look to educate the whole child. Among the strengths of our school is for decades, we have had an inclusive program for students with special needs. What that means is that we have students who receive special education services in every single one of our general ed classrooms. And we also have 2 specially designed special day classes that are an autism rethink model that serve students who are on the mild, moderate autism spectrum. A number of students also receive designated instructional services, for example, speech and language, occupational therapy, physical therapy, and a lot of other things like that. Whenever a child does have services, and let's say they enter our school from preschool, those services very much follow a child, and that can be something we can discuss on an individual basis when we want to talk about your own personal situation with your child.